If you have followed me at all on my YouTube journey, in April of 2019, I had a myomectomy to remove some very large fibroids after pregnancy loss. Um, what you guys may have noticed is that I was huge, and my expectation after the myomectomy was that my stomach would go down, and this is why my stomach is protruding. And no, that was not the case. During my last pregnancy, which I lost last year, I gained almost 40 pounds in 5 months. Just, I was in another state. I was away from my family. I was in a lot of pain from the fibroids, and I was on bed rest from the beginning of my pregnancy to subsequently when I lost the baby. And I was on leave because I was bleeding during the first trimester of my pregnancy. So that caused me to leave my job, finances. I was just stressed. I was stressed, and relationship issues, just everything, just life was coming at me 100 miles a minute, um, which is not an excuse. So it's something normal that everyone does. We emotionally eat. And food was my comfort zone, especially being pregnant. And I just wasn't eating the right things, and then going to just lay down in the bed. And literally, the only exercise I believe I got was my stairs in my house because I lived in a two-story home. So I had to go downstairs to go to the kitchen and then back up to go get back in my bed. Um, so, with that being said, I gained a tremendous amount of weight during that pregnancy. Now, after the pregnancy loss, I went into full labor after finding out that the heart had stopped. So I already knew that I was losing the baby, and the next day I was prepared to go in and have them get everything out of there. But on my way home, or after I got home, I went into actual labor. My water broke, like literally, it was the most excruciating thing. And I have a 6-year-old son, but I had a C-section with him because I had issues. I had fibroids, but they weren't causing issues with my pregnancy. But I was diabetic during that pregnancy, and I had cholestasis, which is why they took him at exactly 36 weeks, and I had him through C-section, which he's perfect now. Um, so after that loss, it was tremendous, because I after I went into labor at the hospital in the emergency room, because I called the ambulance. I was in too much pain, and I it was just, there was blood everywhere. It was just a very bad experience. When I got to the hospital and gave birth to what was a stillborn, because we already knew his heart had stopped, I did get to hold him, and he was about the size of, like, fit into the palm of my hand. But it meant something to me. I keep a picture of him here, and I also keep his ashes in my bear, which my son has. So my son is very close to the bear. We keep his ashes in a little bear. So he's found either in my son's room, with my fiance, or in bed with me, or on my desk. But we keep him near. After that loss, it was very, very hard for me, and I was very depressed. There was nothing that I did afterwards to get up and motivate me to do anything but emotionally eat. And that's what I do when I'm going through something. What I wanted to do was to help you guys, because I got to a point where I was just like fed up with going up sizes and sizes in my clothes, not being able to fit the clothes that I had, not feeling good when I put my clothes on. And I was just like, there's something that has to be done. About 3 months ago, I started eating cleaner. I let go of pork and red meat. I saw no weight loss whatsoever in that. I was working out, um, and the scale did not move for me. And I was just like, what am I doing? And that drove me to the doctor, where I was prescribed Phentermine. Now, I'm on day, I have 2 left out of 30, so I'm on day 28. As the title says, I have lost 11 pounds since I have been taking the Phentermine. Now, a lot of you may be aware of what Phentermine is. I'll put that in the description. So if you came here, you either thinking about taking Phentermine, or you've taken it before, or you're taking it now. Now, I was a little cautious when I read up on it, joined a Facebook group, just because it's known to cause heart palpitations, which I already have because I also have thyroid issues. So I was a little concerned about that. So my primary, um, sorry about that. So she did the EKG, and which was successful. So I started the Phentermine. She also has me doing lipo shots once a week. And with that, I take my propranolol, which is a beta blocker, because it does kind of increase your heart rate a little bit. And that's really if you're dehydrated, not drinking a lot of water. It also makes you constipated. So I take stool softeners from CVS. I take those about once every 4 or 5 days because I used to have a bowel movement every morning, and that's TMI, but I have one every morning. And now I get one every other day, maybe, and it's not comfortable. It's not how it's supposed to be, and I don't like the feeling of being constipated because I feel like it's not helping with the weight loss, me being constipated. I also take CLA 1250 from Nature Wise, and this is supposed to enhance your exercise. Now, they tell you to take this with a meal, but I don't get it because I don't. It enhances your exercise, but they want you to take it with a meal. I personally don't eat before I go work out, so I either work out on an empty stomach in the morning after taking my son to school, or at nighttime after I've had dinner 3 hours ago and before I'm heading to bed. So I take it with my meals during the day, but I don't really use it to enhance my exercise. I can't say, since I'm doing the Phentermine, the lipo shots, and taking this, I can't say that this is improving or not because sometimes I miss these. I don't take these with every meal, but it's also supposed to be blocking a lot of the fat in the food, which I already don't eat a lot of fatty food, so I got this before I got my Phentermine, so this was something that I was going to try just in case I wasn't prescribed the Phentermine. A lot of people so-called have issues with getting the Phentermine, so I was like, let me just get this just in case, or to go with, because I read a lot of people were taking this and it's a natural supplement. So I added it, but I can't really tell you whether it's working or not. What I will say is that you can't, you can, depending on what your goal is, you can take Phentermine and change your diet and lose some weight. I'm trying to lose as much as I can. I have a lot to reverse back. I started at 220 and I'm at 209 now. So I'm definitely trying to get under the 200s. So I exercise 6 to 7 times a week when possible, and I have a busy schedule. So make it happen. And I don't have a lot of money, and I have a good job and I'm well off and I'm not paycheck to paycheck. But if you're investing in yourself, there's some things that you have to do. Um, and one of those things was getting a gym membership. And I have 2 gym memberships. And the reason why I have that is because my job gives us a stipend for the gym. So one of them is significantly paid for, and the other I have to pay for. But the other one is really motivating because it's kind of like a spa. It's kind of like a country club, and it makes me want to go there every morning. Like, I really am depressed if I'm not at the gym. I have to go to the gym. It becomes addicting. The first week or so, it was hard, like pushing myself. But once you get to love the gym and you get the feeling that you've accomplished something and you see the weight falling off, you see the sweat dripping, you really do get a sense that this is what you're supposed to be doing. Now, I used to think, like, why are people in the gym? They're already skinny. And it's because you have to keep your body up. They're going to live a long life, God willing. And it's just like you have to want that for yourself and you have to be that for yourself. And I'm hoping that I just can continue what I'm doing. Now, as far as meals and what I eat, with the Phentermine, it does stop you from wanting to consume large portions of meals. And you're supposed to stop eating when you're full. And that's what you're supposed to do anyway. And I think that when I was raised, at least, we were supposed to complete everything on a plate. And it's kind of just a mental thing to want to finish everything on a plate. And then sometimes it's good and you know you're full and you're like, oh, I can't take another bite, but I'm still continue to eat because it tastes good. And it's like, that's not what you're supposed to do. But we continue to do it. And then 20 pounds, 40 pounds, 60 pounds down the road, we're like, how did we get here? And we wanted to come off fast. And it's like, it didn't get there fast. And it took a lot of eating. It took a lot of not being healthy to get that way. So it's going to take even more time to reverse that. And if you have looked at my myomectomy videos and seen how large my stomach was, I will post some before and afters in my next video that I do, which I'll probably do, I don't know, week updates or 2 week updates depending on how much I'm losing and what I'm doing differently or what I've added. But this is just an introduction to the journey, because I know that I'm not the only person. And what I encourage you guys to do is, if you are on Facebook, to join those groups, the Phentermine group, if you're interested in the Phentermine or weight loss in itself, because a lot of people are on this journey just like you are, just like I am, and they have these tips. And what I can say is water, 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 water. So I have these everywhere. I have one back here on my desk. I have one here. I work from home and I'm still losing weight. I have a busy schedule and I'm still losing weight. I'm a busy mom and I'm still losing weight. You have to find that time. I have to be at work at 11. And when I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, my son has to be at school by 8. As soon as I drop him off, I'm at the gym. I'm at the gym until 10:45, and I get home just in time to clock in. And then on my next break, I take a shower from the gym. Now sometimes I'll go in at 11:30, so I get home by 11, shower, have something ready for me to eat, whether it's boiled eggs, turkey sausage, protein, 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 limited amounts of fat, very limited amounts of carbs. And then I get a cheat meal once a week, which is what I've learned to be the biggest tip, is going to be the cheat meal, because my body is so used to eating clean now that all I eat is really proteins, greens, and vegetables, and limited amount of carbs and starches. So my body is used to that. So you have to, in order to kickstart your metabolism, you have to give it that one cheat meal.